Alright, this is Robert from Seat Concepts. We're going to be doing a KLR low, which is essentially the same as the standard and the tall version. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove it and install one of our kits. You can see here, wider and a lower version to help the shorter people reach the ground and be confident with a secure footing. Just get up underneath that staple, pop it up. Don't worry about if only one side pulls up, leave it. Just keep moving forward. Get around. What you'll do is if you popped them all up, you can take your needle nose pliers or pliers of whatever type and pull them up. Alright, after you get all the staples out, and you'll go ahead and pull the cover off. Simply pull it up, work itself off. At this point you'll want to get the foam off the pan. It is glued on. Just kind of work your finger on the edge, pull it up, and just work your way down. Like just pull it up and keep your fingers between the foam and the plastic pan if you plan on keeping your foam intact. When it comes time to glue the foam to your pan, you know, this is a local company we buy cases from, works real well. You can use 3M 80, 3M 77. Basically, as long as it works with plastic and foam, you're fine. We also use a silicone spray. You don't have to have it, so don't worry about running out and buying another can to install your seat. We use it on the foam and the back of the cover, and what it does allows the cover to slide around on the foam to get it positioned. It's another tool making it a little bit easier for yourself, and that's all it is. Alright, the glue has set off the proper amount of time for the directions on the can. At this point I typically put the foam on my work surface seating area down, kind of holds the foam in shape, and I start at the tongue. I'll set the tongue in the front of the foam, lay it down, make sure these get in nice corners, just kind of set it in there, make sure it fits in the channel right, it's nice and square. Then you'll go to the back, make sure it's square side to side and about the right length, and push it down. At that point, I'm going to flip it over, give it a good squeeze, get it all glued down. Hold it wherever it's fine, and then put it where you need to. Don't be shy to pull it back up. Foam is pretty hardy. Unless you have some really crazy glue, it'll hold up to pulling it off and reset it where you need to put it. This is silicone spray, not glued. Some people think gluing the foam to the cover is the way to go. Do not do it unless you're very, very good at upholstery work, because it will wrinkle and you've ruined it. Just silicone spray lets the cover move around. Alright, at this point, just make sure the material's pushed up around the tongue area, against the seams. Push it up, make sure it's tight. And just kind of lay the cover out. You don't have to worry about, you know, it being perfect at this point. You're just trying to get it on. The main purpose at this point, main focus is the tongue area. You want to make sure it's even side to side and fits the front edge of the foam right. Roll the front cover down a little bit, where this seam would be essentially towards the gas tank edge, not up on top of the foam where you're going to see it. So I just push it down a little bit, and then I'll put 2 staples on it once I'm happy with the fitment. So all you need right now is the 2 to hold this distance down. This seam on the standard and the tall actually goes just on the downside of the foam. Kind of can see here's the top seam area, just in the bottom, and you'll pull the back down where that seam stays just below the seating area around it. That's when you know you have the cover right in this distance. You'll just pull it down, make sure the seams are about right, and just put 2 staples basically a little bit on the inside of the pan. On the low, it rolls down, so what you'll do is make sure you have it even side to side, the foam set and the cover pulled down where this radius that's sewn in matches. At this point, I'll just put 2 staples in, 1 on each side, where I want my starting point, just the preload. You can always pull these back out later. And then we're going to start up here in the front edge and pull it down. You can do like kind of a test video, kind of pull it down. make sure side to side these seams are even. So you'll pull it down, set it against the foam, side to side, you're happy. When it go one side, you kind of have your idea, don't like pull the whole cover off. You'll know basically where you want that one. Hold that with the edge of the pan, pull it a little bit tighter, and then roll it over the edge of the pan. Go ahead and put one staple in, and then same process again on this side. Grab it, hold, don't typically pull too much on this part, pull from the main part, and fold it over the edge. At that point, you'll put your other staple in. Now at this point you'll see it should be pretty similar where the seams are folded over. Pretty much want this seam to be flush with the front edge where the gas tank would be. So just kind of roll it up till that seam's flat, and then you can start putting your staples in. Now when you get to the edge, some people just kind of pull it in there, staple it. I typically just fold it, pull it down, and put a staple right in that fold. Makes it just clean. You can chase this one up and just put a staple in, and then pull this back down and put one right there. So just kind of keep an eye as you pull it. You don't cause inconsistency in the foam, because it's foam, it will compress. So you just kind of want to watch as you pull it, keep it nice and equal along the edge. It's easier to stop now, pull the staples out if you need to, just a couple, versus taking the whole seat cover loose to shift it a little bit. So just go a little bit, look at it, confirm you're happy with everything, and then keep moving forward from there. So at this point, you're going to start working your way back. As you can see here, there's a spot. What happens is sometimes in shipping, the cover will get folded to fit in the box, or it gets scrunched, leaves a mark. The hotter the day is, the faster this will go away. It's not very hot today, but we're doing this to show that this is not a problem. What will happen is we'll go ahead and install it, pretend it's not there, and after a day or two in the sun, it will go away. And so we'll just put a little bit of preload, pull any kind of slack. Try to get a staple through that seam. It just helps keep the stress off the seam itself. The staple helps absorb some of the load. These pleats will help absorb the wrinkles. Now, the tall does not have a pleats in it because it's so flat, not an issue. But what you'll do is you can play with the cover as you're installing it, like pulling the material back. Like say you do have wrinkles, you're not happy with the look of it anywhere like that. You know, just play with it, pull it. Keep your hand on one side, kind of pull it back. And you'll see as you kind of rub it back and pull the cover back towards you into the side to help preload it, this stuff will walk out. It will come out of the seat cover. So just the key is to make sure you go from side to side and keep it even. So at this point you can see everything's laying in nicely. Step seats and dish seats, the covers we don't glue down. So what they call tenting, normal. OEMs do this, so don't worry about, oh, it's not sitting in there. Well, it's not going to, but as soon as you sit in it, it pushes it down, not a problem. So we got just finished up stapling around the back. Do one more visual look, get your seams nice and equal. As you guys see, some of that fold's coming out already, just with the pressure being pulled tight. At this point, you'll flip it over. After you got everything where you like it, and you're just gonna take a razor blade by hand, utility knife, and you're gonna trim the excess off. So we'll start here, push a little hard through the seam there because it's twice as thick. And how much distance you leave is up to you. I usually leave about ½ inch or so, depending on the area, if it's going to interfere with anything. Just keep in mind this is underneath the seat, not visible, so it's totally up to you what your preference is of how perfect the under the seat looks. Alright, now you have your seat on, all finished up, wipe off any fingerprints you might have put. It's all trimmed up on the bottom, ready to ride. So now all you gotta do is install it. It fits just like the stock seat did, and enjoy your ride. Thanks a lot.